So, uh, I just finished working out not long ago. You know, my usual daily ritual is working out. So, I decided to speak about something that is very, very vital, very important when it comes to trading. Well, as an individual, generally, you know, I've been working out since when I was like 12. I have one scar on my face. I think that was the first workout experience. With this scar on my eyes, I need to carry, heavy weights. Where some guys were, benching and all of that. And then I injured myself with that weight, trying to build up muscle. you know. But at that moment, I fell in love with that shit. I couldn't stop. I love working out. I love doing exercise. Going climbing trees. Football, somersaults, other stuff. My mom, stopped me from many of them, but when I get a chance, I don't miss it. you know. So I've been working out since when I was 12, and growing up till I got to like age 17, 18, 16. You know, I wasn't seeing any result. Like I wasn't seeing any muscle. I was still very skinny. I do push up, 10, at least 10. I was doing at least 10. You know, I wasn't seeing any muscle. I got into uni. Then I upgraded a bit. I started going to, a proper local gym. Before I go for lectures, early in the morning, I've gone to the gym, workouts. Before 7, before 6, 7, I'm back to the lodge to prepare for lectures and all of that. Now, an average person would go to the gym, you know. Might like the first day, but when they go for a certain period of time, probably 2 years or 6 months, and you're not seeing visible results yet, it's I think it's normal to stop, right? It only makes sense to stop, like because what the fuck? Why am I doing something I'm not seeing any results? Why would I keep doing it? Do you understand? To get, yeah, it only makes sense to stop. Charlie probably put the time using going to the gym into something else. But I've been doing this since I was 12. I was working out. I've been working out since I was 12 years. I got an injury, but it didn't stop me from working out. When I was 12, memories like this just makes it just you know make you kind of give you a light of who you actually are. You know, of who you are as a person. Memories like that. When you are not even you don't even know so much. I can remember myself then. What do I even know? I don't know shit. Do you understand? I don't know anything. Like that should be like the most ignorant age of any youth. 12. Was I even up to 12 then? But I was working out. became something I really love. Like I became so obsessed with at least growing muscle. So I was very very skinny. I was skinny as fuck. I was skinny as fuck, man. So I wanted to grow muscles. But in the process, I began to love the process of building muscle instead of, you know, waiting to feel happy when I get the muscle. I don't know if that makes sense. I eventually started liking working out, like genuine love. Like I wake up in the morning and I rush to do workouts. At least 10. I'll just say at least let me just do 10 before I start my day. Without even knowing the benefit of that shit. You know? So I just loved it. That was the only logical explanation to why I was doing it even when there was no result. I just loved working out. But throughout those period, I wasn't seeing results. Results was actually building. Not enough yet for the visible eyes. That was just the difference. But results was building definitely. Physical, mental, emotional. Your discipline level just keep increasing. Like yeah, your discipline level just keeps increasing silently behind the whole thing. Just keep building. Subconscious, you don't even know that anything is going on. You're not even seeing any results, but something is building somewhere. Something is building somewhere, even though you're not seeing it with your eyes. So I came this morning now and I did close to 400. Yeah, I did close to 300 push-ups. I could have gone to 400, but I just wanted to really, I just really didn't want to go for further than 300. I started from pushing just 10. You know, it's difficult. Now you should be doing the push-up, like when you get to 70, all your whole body will start vibrating. You know, you will need to stop. Your body will you want to stop because you're feeling, enormous pain. But you want to push the third one, you want to push the second one, you want to push more, you want to push 3 more, you want to push it enough so you can get to 80, and then maybe you can stop. So that is how it is for me. That discipline to keep going even when there is pain. I could have stopped working out because the first day I took the iron to lift like this, it went straight to my eyes. Do you see how close this mark was to my eyes at 12 or 11? That is enough reason to not carry that thing again. That is enough reason to not lift weights again in my life. But guess what? I didn't stop. It even made me want to carry the weights more. I don't know if you understand. It made me want to carry the weights even more. So, if you see my body now, I don't even take protein shake and all of that shit. All the supplements to build muscle. I don't do that shit. The muscle on my body is real muscle. Real muscle. And they're not too obvious. They are not so obvious. The muscle on my body is not so obvious. Right? I'm not going to that. So my point is, discipline keeps you going even when things are hard. even when you don't even know shit. Even when it's killing you, man, but you believe that this thing can do something for you, you just can't stop. That is discipline. And I feel like everybody just have definition of what discipline is and this that this. To me, you need to experience. You need to be in a position to show that you can be disciplined in a situation to actually understand what discipline is, not just listening to what somebody wrote based off their experience. Your own experience is how you understand this, you know, content or the content of what discipline actually is. So those times I've been working out, the result wasn't like so obvious. The result was building up somewhere inside of me without my knowledge, right? So now, probably I'm just reaping the benefit of those workouts. Who knows? I don't know, you know, but that's a possibility, right? Because I've been really disciplined. I don't even know how else to explain to say what discipline means, but I have been really disciplined. I don't cannot even imagine. Trust me. When you're going through something and you realize that there is a problem, you realize that something is wrong, something is just not right. That is discipline. Discipline to understand that you are not in a good situation or you're not in the right situation, or you just know that something is not right, something is wrong. Maybe with you, with your trading, or with how you live your life, or where you stay, something. You just know that something is not right somewhere. That is discipline. It's discipline. Are you disciplined enough to know that you're not doing the right thing? Discipline is. That's why I don't like. I don't usually pay attention to the way people describe or explain things. I want to experience it my own self and know how I will explain it. You know. So yeah, writing down that going maybe you own a journal and write down on your journal that I'm not going to trade on Monday. Let's say, yeah, as one of your rules, right? I'm not going to trade on Monday. You wrote it down. You're serious. You don't want to trade on Monday again because you have been trading on Mondays and it has been giving you most of the losses you have during the week. So you decided, no, I'm not going to trade on Monday anymore. He seriously brought the journal, and he wrote down, I'm not going to trade on Monday again. Rule number 5. I can assure you that if you come to the market the next Monday, you are more likely to trade. That money that you say you're not going to trade, you're more likely to trade than you don't trade. I promise you. You're very likely to trade that day you said you're not going to trade on Monday. Yeah. Maybe the next week. You come to the chat again on Monday, you are likely to take a trade and break that rule. That is how crazy this shit is. I don't know if you are imagining what I'm saying. Like you're picturing what I'm saying. Like you brought out your journal and you seriously wrote that you're not going to trade on Monday anymore. You close the journal next week Monday. You come to the chat. and there you are placing an order. you know, and eventually that trade goes to stop loss. And then you are like, I said I wasn't going to trade. Oh, why did I take this trade? I said I'm not going to trade for Monday. Oh. Why take this trade now? Nah, you know. So that was, that's why I said to identify that there is a problem, that is discipline. You need to be disciplined enough to even identify something to be a problem, to be an issue, to be a setback for you or your trading, whatsoever the case might be. Now, in this case, you are writing down that stuff right on your journal. You're not going to trade on Monday. You're not going to trade Monday again. Fine. But you just realize that somehow you are not in control of yourself. So just somehow. Somehow you're not in control. Right? Yeah. There's a point to realize that you are not actually in control of your actions. That's when you probably start taking things seriously, because this shit is serious, man. I'm not even kidding. This shit is serious. Imagine saying to yourself, like, you don't know how many times you have broken a promise you made to yourself. You wrote, now I'm speaking of experience. Now I'm writing down this stuff. This is what I'm going to do on my chart, to stay consistent on this market. I want to be consistent, right? Then I come the next day. That's the day I said I'm not going to trade. And I go that day and take trade. And then I lose. And then start regrets. After I start beating myself up. And then I start like, what the fuck is wrong with me, man? But guess what? You have actually solved that problem of trading on Monday the moment you wrote it down. That was when you solved the problem. You see that moment you took your pen and said, I'm not going to trade on Monday anymore. That was the moment you actually solved that problem of trading on Mondays, even though you keep taking losses that Monday. But the actual result of writing that rule down won't appear that first day, won't start showing up on you that first day, or that first week, or that first month, or even that first year you wrote it down. But as long as you keep reminding yourself that you don't want to trade on Monday, that you shouldn't be trading on Monday, eventually, if it's still long enough, eventually you just stop trading on Monday. Like, it becomes like a switch. It just becomes like, it just feels like something switched off in your head, that you don't even care about Mondays anymore. Eventually, that is if you stay long enough, if you are disciplined enough to stay long enough, you would eventually stop trading on Monday without you even realizing that you have actually stopped, and this was actually a problem for you before. It's insane, right? So that's what I said. Identifying that there is a problem, that is discipline. People don't even know that they have problems. Some people think that they are perfect. I'm not kidding you. People just believe that they are perfect. Right? But trust me, you're not perfect. And if you want to be a trader, you have to come to that realization that you are not perfect. You're just an ordinary nigga. With the same human flaws, like emotional, emotions in this market, they are not really needed. But the interesting part is you cannot run from them. You cannot eliminate them completely. They're always going to be there. But at some point, you just stop paying attention to them for a long period of time that you eventually don't care anymore. When you take losses so much, and eventually you just like you take losses so much, and when you take losses, you'd almost like want to cry because you lost money. That's the interest. That's the crazy part about trading. When you make a mistake, you pay for it by losing money. That is insane. First of all, that is crazy. Imagine losing $100, or let's say $1,000. Whenever you eat late at night, probably eat by 12 p.m. or 11. I do that shit sometimes, but that's stupid. Imagine I lose like $1,000 whenever I eat late at night. When that urge comes to eat, you just go to your kitchen and look for one, maybe cook a oats or something like that. Oatmeal with milk and all of that shit, and start downloading. After eating, you got an alert on your phone that you just lost $1,000 from your money, wherever you have them. Trust me, eventually you will stop, without you even knowing, you will stop eating late at night. I promise you. But will you play the game long enough to eventually stop? Doing the things that keep you stagnant. So that is discipline too. It's discipline not to quit. Imagine I stopped working out after this stuff happened to me that day. It might feel like just an ordinary day in a young child's life. Right, but imagine I stopped working out that day. This stuff happened to me. I cannot even imagine how I'll be looking by now. Those kind of things. That's how trading is, man. Trading is so fucking difficult. I'm not even going to sugarcoat shit for anybody. Shit is difficult. Like, it will bring you to actually see yourself. And actually see yourself, not the one you see in the mirror. Actually see you. Like, it will bring you down to your knees to see who you really are as a person, as an individual. So yeah, even the workouts that I do on a regular basis, even when I'm tired and all of that, other stuff, they're all building up. Now I've gotten some, few muscles and all of that. But aside that, your mental strength, it builds some mental strength. Because when it comes to trading, you actually need mental strength, insane mental strength. Insane level of strength mentally. When I was taking crazy losses then, Then when I go to the gym, I'll be pushing weights like, you know. Now, going to the gym actually helps a lot. You just don't see the results immediately. Same thing with trading. It takes time. If you stay long enough, you eventually get the results. People quit too early, honestly. If you stay long enough in the gym, you get your dream body. You get the body you want, and you'll be proud of yourself because you built it through pain, through intense exercise and all of that. Same thing with trading. Just like workouts. The first 5 years, you might not even see any results. I've been working out since I was 12. I'm not telling my age now. I've been working out since I was 12. And I've not stopped. I still work out till today. How many years? If you see my body, I don't take any supplement and all of that. But if you see my body, you will not say na war, na soft, na punishment, na pain. My person don't chop. You gotta eat that pain like cornflakes. So now I'm just disciplined effortlessly. Like I'm not even putting so much effort to be disciplined. I know what I need to do on the chart. And I just do them now. I don't even you don't understand. You have to be disciplined long enough to actually get the results. It just keeps piling up and piling up until you have enough discipline to actually move forward. If not, you're not going to see anything. But you need to stay long enough. You need to discipline yourself to not even give up. Discipline comes in a lot of this, in a lot of ways of explaining it. That's why I don't usually read this individualistic definition of things in general. In general, I love to try my best to get a bit of experience to give my own explanation to what I experienced in the course of action. So, stay disciplined, man. That's the only way forward. That's the only way to win in this chat. Stay disciplined. It's going to be the hardest thing you choose to do. It's going to be the hardest thing you decide to do. But if you are disciplined, if you stay disciplined long enough, if you actually stay disciplined long enough, you might get something from this, man. You might just get something. You might just. But you have to stay in it for a long period of time. Because it doesn't just come out of the blues. It piles up like small habits. From working out and working out and working, those are just small habits. And loving to work out. Whatever gives me pain, don't even frighten me like that. Trading gives pain, like mental pain. You need to be strong upstairs to actually handle it. You need to be strong. You need to see that you don't know, it will make you you are just a dumbass nigga. That is what it's going to make you feel like. You know nothing. That is insane. It will make you feel like you know absolutely nothing. That's why I said it is discipline. to identify that there is a problem. It got to some point, yeah, it got to the point where I decided to tell myself that I don't even know anything on this chart. Yeah, you have to come to that realization. You know nothing, man. You know nothing, absolutely nothing. And how do you get knowledge? How do you know things? You know things by staying in that thing long enough to get the knowledge. Experience whatever you want long enough to get knowledge. That is the only way you get knowledge. That's the only way you learn something. That is the only way you know anything. Stay long enough to learn, to know. Now, some people don't. That is not an easy. It's sounding easy in my mouth. Like the way I'm saying it's like it's effortless. No, it's not, bro. It's not. Imagine failing over and over again on something. It's not easy. And not many times I've contemplated stopping. It's insane. It's insane. Man, I'm not gonna give it to you book. You know how it is, man. No sugarcoating. I don't sugarcoat anything. People that know me. I don't even know how to, hide my mouth like that. I'll tell you the fucking truth. This shit is insane. If you're gonna attempt it, just know that this will be the hardest thing you attempt in your whole life. The most difficult thing you can attempt in your whole life as a person is to attempt being a trader and actually succeeding. If you succeed, then yeah, your attempt wasn't a waste. But if you don't succeed, can you keep going? Can you keep doing it? So are you disciplined enough to keep going, man? Are you disciplined enough to until you see results? So many things you understand about life and yourself when you trade. So many crazy stuff. How long can you endure not seeing results, but you keep going strong, you keep waking up and believing that this thing will work? You lose. It's like you lose. Imagine paying for all the mistakes you have made with your money. Think about it. How many mistakes do you think you have made in your lifetime as a human? Not moral, okay, moral mistakes. Yeah, ramification, all kind of mistakes, domestic mistake, whatsoever, moral, sexual, and you are being charged. You are being, they get money away from you when you make one of these mistakes. Any day you make any of this mistake, you are being debited. They debit you a certain amount based off the level of the mistake you made. They charge you. They collect money from you. Do you know how crazy that sounds? That is what trading is like. Any mistake you make, you are potentially losing money. If that makes sense. Any fucking mistake you make, you're likely to lose money. Anyone. That is the. Then you stay for 5 years without seeing any result, but you are losing money consistently, and you are still doing it. Anyways, I think that's all I have to say for when it comes to discipline. It's a tough, field to battle, to fight. And you need to be tough, man. Forget about physical stuff and all of that. You can be strong physically, but mentally you are weak as fuck. Yeah, I might sound a little bit harsh, but man, discipline is harsh. I promise you, man. Discipline is harsh. You can be strong physically, but mentally, psychologically, man, chaff. You're fucking chaff. So I hope that makes sense to somebody. And try to stay disciplined, because that is the only way. You need to follow your rules. You have to follow those rules. But eventually you will if you stay long enough. That is one of my points as well. If you write down the rules, as I said earlier, that is a problem half solved. If you identify that is a problem, you know, that is discipline. If you write it down, it's also discipline, right? Because you want to face that problem, you want to solve that problem. You need to be disciplined enough to know the problem and make an attempt to solve them. To write it down, actually. And also, you don't solve these problems in a day. It compounds. The more you keep reminding yourself that you don't want to trade on Monday, eventually you stop trading on Monday without you even knowing. But you need to stay long enough. You need to discipline yourself long enough. Long enough. As long as possible. You need to. I don't know how else to say this. But that is as blunt as I get with this topic. With the topic of discipline. That is. It doesn't have to make sense to you. Right? But when you go deep enough, you understand what I'm saying. So yeah, anyways, I don't think I'll be trading today because price action is not doing what I want it to do. And also, this is GU. Let me also do this small break now. What I looking for looking at, expecting from price. Now I might not trade, right? But price is already at the higher time frame key level. Let me see if I can. So this is daily time frame. So that key level now is this swing low, right? And price just took it out here and respected the level by closing inside this daily range high, daily range low. So price manipulated it, did this other candle, pushed higher. The target normally should be this high, right? But 50% of this candle is also a target. This candle, 50% of it is also a target. That is why price, as you can see here, price did this, come to the 50% and then started dropping this second candle down here, right? So what I want price to do is actually to come take this liquidity above here and probably sell from there, right? Or break above this level, probably give us reason to buy, because that is this low is a strong liquidity level. It's a strong level of liquidity. So if price respects it, we might be coming to this high to get this. Bro, what the fuck? We might be coming to get this high, or this one, or this one, whatever the case might be. But currently, what I'm seeing in price is a possible sell to this level, take out this daily low, and then this change character and then give us reason to take this high, right? then whatever happens here, we'll figure it out later. But this is the possible direction I'm looking at for price. But if this is also a possibility, this candle coming down here, breaking below this whole thing, retesting, so price is breaking below this because it's actually reacting at the key level, 50% of a candle, of a daily candle, and fair value gap. So if price breaks below that low and taps into this area, that will, this support that will not turn to resistance, that will be a possibility to sell, to take the draw liquidity. I don't know if that makes sense. So that's what I don't see. That's how I take trade. I don't just come to the chart and take any trade. I try to understand the story price is telling. When I understand the story and the direction of prices, then I try to be part of the direction where I've clearly understand the story. I just don't come to the chart and take entries because price is going up or down. No. Now, because I'm saying all these things now because I've stayed long enough to actually discipline myself to actually trade like this. When I started trading, it wasn't like this, and that should be a normal thing. That is a normal experience. You have to go through. We need to be disciplined enough to stay long enough to actually be able to read price the way you should. But people don't have the persistence to actually stay long enough, because this is not an easy thing to do. I guarantee you this is not an easy thing to do. I'll speak on other topics also, but this is that I'll say for discipline. There might be another video again for discipline. I don't know. It just when I just get I don't know what to call it. And this topic will just come away. Okay, let me speak on this one, and I'll get my phone and just make a video on it. That's it. I don't write anything down. All this I'm saying, I'm just saying it's based off experience. Is what I know, is what I've experienced on this. I've stayed on this chart long enough to actually know what I'm saying to you now. If I didn't stay long enough, I will know nothing. Do you understand? So yeah, so that's it for this video. Peace out.